Everybody, Raspberry Barrel here, and today we'll be reading the biography made by Jig0109 on DeviantArt of his version of Festivia the Fun. Please forgive me if I stutter, hesitate, or mispronounce anything, and for any noises in the background. And let's begin. Festivia the Fun. When the threat of monsters at the gate has darkened out to sun, let the kingdom find some peace and joy in Festivia the Fun. Festivia Butterfly, the Fun. Born 1:76 a.m., died 2:35 a.m. Was queen 1:97 a.m. through 2:20 a.m. Married to Court Stone. Children, Asteria Butterfly, Harvest Butterfly, and Hope Butterfly. Festivia Butterfly was born in 176 during the Harvest Moon Festival. She had purple hair inherited from her parental grandpa and green eyes that her mother greatly admired, like her father Rowan Forrest. On her cheeks, purple curved diamonds. The early childhood of Festivia were difficult and troubled times for Muni. In addition to being the first princess to grow up without the presence of her father, who had been murdered months before her birth, Festivia lived in the years leading up to the Muni Mud Dweller Rebellion. Her mother, Queen Phoebe, remained absent from outside conflicts to devote herself to the creation of her only daughter, an heiress. Festivia lived a worry-free childhood and unaware of what was happening outside the realm. The most striking feature of Princess Festivia's personality, which would make her recognized years later, began to give signs early on. It's reported that since she was 4 years old, Festivia was seen entertaining her mother, whether by joking, singing, or imitating, making her laugh and relax in times of difficulty and sadness. Festivia's life underwent a major turnaround in 182 with the Watchtower Challenge, in which the Mud Dwellers invaded the Forest Watchtower and kept the Forest family hostage. In addition to her great aunt Herminia, the event eventually aggravated the conflict, which eventually evolved into a pitched war. Fearing for the safety of her daughter, Phoebe decided to send Festivia to the Sylvian Kingdom, home to an old friend of her parents. However, she didn't go alone. She was joined by Sir Goldstone's nephew, Quartz, a red-headed boy of her age and pink strangely eyes. The carriage left Muni at night, heading for the Sylvian Kingdom to the north. After 22 days of travel, and without even a word exchanged among the infants, they reached their destination. Festivia and Quartz moved to Sylvian Family Castle. The cultural shock was strong for Festivia. The architecture was different. The clothes were different. Everything was different. Instead of corn, what was seen in abundance in the kingdom, Sylvian, were the most varied types of grape. The early days of Festivia were hard to get accustomed to. In addition to cultural differences, Festivia had no friends other than Princess Selena, not even Court Stone, who appeared to have a strange sense of revulsion against her. But none of this was capable of overthrowing the princess's cheerful and jovial spirit. Her ease in making others laugh and forget their troubles made King Sylvian put her to learn from the great masters of the performing arts of the kingdom. At age 8, Festivia already excelled in the arts of music, singing, poetry, and theater. Another trait that stood out in her was her height beyond a girl of her own age. Quartz, to get an idea, reached her chin. In the same year, Festivia completely adopted the Sylvian style of dressing. Curiously, it was from this change that another occurred. Quartz told her hello for the first time since they came from the Sylvian Kingdom. The relationship of Festivia and Quartz itself was curious. The princess describes in her diary that Quartz was a boy apparently very shy and a few words. In 185, when they were 9 years old, Festivia reports that he already said good morning, good afternoon, and good night to her, and sometimes thank you and you're welcome. In 186, when she was 10, Festivia discovered something unexpected. Princess Selena had told her that Quartz had confessed to a cousin of her that he thought Festivia was very attractive, and he was afraid to talk to her and she found him an idiot. Knowing this, Festivia decided to approach Quartz. She had no other intentions, just wanted to get his friendship and help him overcome his shyness. And in less than a year, Quartz Stone was already a much more open and conversational person with her. In 187, a major accident occurred. Festivia helped to harvest grape peppers, a grape typical of the kingdom known for being extremely fiery. When accidentally the juice of the fruit sneezed and struck her eyes, it's reported that Festivia cried after hours. Such was the pain that Festivia fainted and only woke up the next day with bandaged eyes. The wraps were removed after 3 days. Miraculously, her vision had not been compromised. However, her once green eyes now had a purple hue. Festivia and the Sylvian kingdom didn't inform Thebe about what had happened. In the year 188, she received a letter from her mother announcing the end of the Mud Dweller rebellion, and thus her right to return to her home. Festivia and courts left the Sylvian kingdom the same night, carrying in their luggage much of their culture. The arrival of Princess Festivia was discreet, with the carriage entering the gates of the castle in the middle of the night. Her mother left the bed to welcome her back home. Festivia had changed in the last 6 years. Her hair had grown, her clothes were very different from the conventional, and at 12 she was almost as tall as her mother. No detail went unnoticed by Thebe, including Festivia's now purplish eyes. The princess told her about the accident. Thebe had just said that it only mattered that she was well and that she was still beautiful as ever. However, I remember that it was possible to see a disappointment hidden in Thebe's face. The reason? Festivia's eyes were Rowan's eyes, and now they were gone. Since her return, Festivia had come to accompany wherever her mother went, especially at meetings of the royal council, which were more cheerful with the presence of the princess and her relaxed and amusing personality. In 190, Festivia completed 14 years and received the magic wand of the family. The wand metamorphosized into a golden goblet with a purple curved diamond. The banquet in celebration of her birthday was not all modest, ranging from musicians to other types of artists. Regarding her magical abilities, Festivia was really creative and had great potential. However, she used her spells more for entertainment purposes than to protect the kingdom. To get a sense of what I'm talking about, Festivia was the creator of the Rubber Sparkle Bounce House and